The second to last episode of Hawkeye definitely brings us towards what is going to be a huge finale for this show and everything moving forward. And coincidentally enough, it all starts in the past. So let's talk about the twists and turns we see in this episode. So this episode was very interesting from the perspective that it doesn't start focusing on either Hawkeye. It's not focusing on Clint or Kate. Instead, we get a flashback to 2018 where we see Yelena, and we are going to find out that she was in fact snapped. So she missed everything that was going on. She obviously lost contact with Natasha, and now this kind of adds a little bit more to Natasha's, well, I guess state of mind, if you will, during Avengers Endgame because, well, she lost her sister. So we see that during this that they kind of go a little bit more into detail into how the snap really worked for her. And we see everything change at the same time and how she just literally disappeared and it was like a second to her. So she comes out, she talks to a former Black Widow, and now we kind of catch up to modern day where she's like, well, I'm after Clint because he took out my sister. And this is where the story continues to evolve, and we eventually get the confrontation of Kate and Yelena, but it's not fighting. Instead, Yelena decides to make her food, make her mac and cheese, and the two talk, which was honestly one of my favorite scenes in the MCU so far, in terms of what the shows can do that the films cannot. It felt like maybe it was like 10 minutes of the show, them just sitting talking, and it felt so refreshing, and Yelena has not lost a step. And Florence Pugh is just right back into it, and she delivers the wittiness, the cleverness, like it's all here. Which then leads us to a couple more revelations. We find out that Echo isn't really going to be, let's say, trustworthy of everybody moving forward, such as her uncle, such as Tracksuit Mafia, because Ronan has made her realize that maybe you should question what exactly was going on that night that you lost a family member that made you who you are, because you seem to be pointed at things like a weapon, like I am. Which brings us back around to Jack. So, as it turns out, Kate's mom, she did start looking into it, and yeah, he's bad. Definitely bad. Except he's not. It looks like he's definitely being set up. Still, they want you to question things that are related to Kate's mom. They want you to question things related to pretty much everybody that's in this show, and there's a lot of mystery going forward. But overall, this episode definitely delivers on many fronts. You know, when we get to that ending, obviously there's going to be a lot to talk about, which I have to talk about elsewhere. But in this episode, the build up to it, I'm honestly going to say this might be one of my favorite episodes of any MCU TV show. It's definitely going to be in the top 3. I got to rewatch it, but of course, we're going to save that for the audio commentary. Look, let's be real, you knew it was coming. There's going to be a lot to say about this episode in its entirety, so hopefully we see you guys there. And of course, if you guys end up joining now, you get everything before, and you're going to get the upcoming next week's episode. And there's going to be plenty more extra content, more audio commentaries, including the upcoming book of Boba Fett, and so much more. Hopefully, we see you there.